Hey there! We're so excited to share today's video with you on our channel. Have you ever sat in a car and wondered why some drivers are constantly shifting gears and pressing an extra pedal, while others just slide the gear lever into drive and cruise away without a second thought? This simple difference divides drivers into two groups: manual lovers and automatic fans. It's one of the oldest debates in the world of driving: automatic versus manual. Which one is better? Which one saves you money? Which one gives you the better driving experience? And most importantly, which one is right for you? By the end of this video, you'll not only know the mechanical differences but also understand how each transmission affects your daily driving, maintenance bills, fuel costs, and even your overall connection to the car. Whether you're a new driver deciding what to learn, or a car enthusiast curious about the finer details, this video will give you the full picture. Let's break it down. At the core, the main difference between automatic and manual cars comes down to who controls the gears, you or the car. In a manual transmission, often called a stick shift, the driver is responsible for everything. You use your left foot to press a clutch pedal, your right hand to move the gear stick, and you have to time these actions correctly to keep the car moving smoothly. It's a skill that requires practice and coordination. On the other hand, in an automatic transmission, the car does the hard work for you. Instead of worrying about the clutch, the gearbox is managed by hydraulics, sensors, and computer systems that automatically decide when to change gears based on your speed, engine load, and driving conditions. You simply select drive, press the accelerator, and go. Manual equals you're the one in control of shifting. Automatic equals the car shifts for you. This small difference changes the entire driving experience, from how you learn to drive, to how relaxed or engaged you feel on the road. How they operate. Now let's dive a little deeper into how these two systems actually work. In a manual car, the clutch is the key player. Think of it as a gate between the engine and the wheels. When the clutch is engaged, power flows from the engine to the wheels, making the car move. When you press the clutch pedal, you temporarily disconnect that power. This pause allows you to shift gears without grinding the gearbox. Once you've selected a new gear, you release the clutch, reconnecting the engine and the wheels. This process repeats every time you want to accelerate, slow down, or even stop. It's hands-on, mechanical, and requires constant attention. In an automatic, there's no clutch pedal. Instead, most automatics use something called a torque converter, which performs a similar role but without driver input. Modern automatics rely on fluid pressure, electronic sensors, and onboard computers to decide the right time to shift gears. As you speed up, the car automatically changes to a higher gear. As you slow down, it shifts back down. If that sounds complicated, think of it like this: riding a manual car is like cycling on a bike with gears. You manually decide when to switch gears to make pedaling easier or harder. Driving an automatic is like riding a smart bike that senses the road and changes gears for you. Driving experience. Now, let's get into the fun part: how it feels to drive. Driving a manual is often described as engaging and rewarding. You're more connected to the car because you're making constant decisions: when to shift, how much throttle to give, when to downshift for extra power. If you're on a winding mountain road, being able to downshift into a lower gear gives you more control, making the drive more exciting. Many enthusiasts say this level of control is what makes manual driving so satisfying. But the downside comes in city traffic. Imagine crawling through rush hour congestion, pressing the clutch pedal hundreds of times, and shifting constantly. It quickly becomes tiring. That's where automatics shine. In an automatic, you simply put the gear lever in drive and let the car handle the rest. Stop and go traffic becomes much easier, as you don't have to keep pressing the clutch or changing gears. This convenience is one reason why automatics are especially popular in big cities and countries where traffic is a daily headache. So the question is, do you prefer being fully in control and feeling connected, or do you want a more relaxed, effortless ride? That answer says a lot about which type of car might suit you better. Maintenance differences. Cars aren't just about driving, they also need care. And when it comes to maintenance, manuals and automatics are very different. Manual transmissions are generally simpler in design. The main part that wears out is the clutch, which naturally degrades over years of use. Depending on your driving style, a clutch might last anywhere from 50,000 to 100,000 miles. Replacing a clutch isn't cheap, but compared to fixing an automatic gearbox, it's usually much more affordable. Automatics, on the other hand, are complex. They have fluid systems, sensors, valves, and computer controls that all work together. This complexity makes them more prone to expensive repairs if something goes wrong. Transmission fluid needs to be checked and replaced periodically to avoid damage. And if the gearbox fails, repair costs can be very high, sometimes even more than the car is worth. In short, manuals are simpler and cheaper to maintain. Automatics are more convenient but can be more expensive over the long run if major problems occur. Fuel efficiency and cost. In the past, manual cars were always more fuel efficient. Skilled drivers could shift at the perfect time to save gas, while older automatics were less precise and often wasted fuel. But technology has changed this. Modern automatics, especially CVTs, continuously variable transmissions, and dual-clutch transmissions, can actually be more fuel efficient than manuals. They shift gears with perfect timing, something human drivers can't always do. Many modern cars with automatic gearboxes now deliver better miles per gallon than their manual versions. When it comes to purchase price, manual cars are usually cheaper upfront. Automatics add cost because of their technology. However, in some markets, automatics have become so common that manuals are harder to find, and their lower price isn't always a big advantage. Everyday situations. Let's imagine some real-world driving situations. You're driving in a busy city with stoplights every block. In a manual, you'll be pressing the clutch constantly, shifting into first gear, moving a few feet, stopping again, and repeating. In an automatic, you simply glide forward with minimal effort. Now imagine you're on a scenic highway or a mountain road. In a manual, you can downshift before a corner, accelerate out smoothly, and feel completely connected to the car. An automatic will do the shifting for you, but sometimes not in the way you'd like, especially in older models. So the difference comes down to what kind of driving you do most often. City drivers often prefer automatics. Enthusiasts or people who live in rural or open road areas might still lean toward manuals. Which one should you choose? The million-dollar question: which is better? The answer isn't so simple, it depends on you.
If you enjoy driving as more than just a way to get from point A to point B, a manual might be for you.
It gives you control, connection, and sometimes even a sense of pride, since fewer people today know how to drive one. Manuals are often cheaper to buy, easier to repair, and for some, much more fun. If you value convenience, comfort, and simplicity, automatic is likely the better choice. It's easier to learn, makes city driving effortless, and modern versions are fuel efficient. Ultimately, neither is better in every way, it's about what suits your lifestyle, your driving environment, and your budget. So, what have we learned today? Manuals and automatics are two very different experiences. Manuals give you more control, lower maintenance costs, and a deeper connection to the car. Automatics offer comfort, convenience, and effortless driving, especially in traffic. Both have their strengths and weaknesses. The choice isn't about which one is universally superior, it's about which one fits your life better. So ask yourself, do you want to be fully engaged with your car every time you drive, or would you rather relax and let the car handle the hard work? Whichever you choose, the most important thing is to enjoy the journey. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the differences between automatic and manual cars, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more car explainers, and drop a comment below. Do you prefer the control of a manual or the convenience of an automatic, and why? Thanks for watching, and as always, drive safe.